Which coach will get covered in Mayo? That may be the more intriguing storyline than what actually happens out on the field when two 8-4 teams square off against each other as North Carolina and West Virginia square off in the Mayo Bowl. The Tar Heels coming in, as we said, at 8-4, despite starting the year at 6-0 and rising to number 10 in the entire country, finishing the year 2-4 down the stretch, including bad losses to Virginia and Georgia Tech. West Virginia, a surprising year for them. What was a make-or-break year for the Mountaineers under Neal Brown. He delivered, getting the Mountaineers to 8-4, back into the postseason, a guaranteed winning record, and ultimately saving his job in Morgantown. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad you could join us today, ready to break down this Mayo Bowl between North Carolina and West Virginia. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks. That holiday special, guys. It's never too late to sign up for that. We're giving you every single bowl game spread pick, every single NFL playoff game spread pick for one of the lowest prices in the entire country. It's going to be the lowest price you find anywhere, and we're guaranteeing winnings. No one else can do that. We've hit over 62% of our holiday special bets each of the last 5 years. We've hit over 60% of our total season bets each of the last 5 years. We are killing it here at the Gridiron Expert with our expert picks, and we want you to take advantage of that and win big with us. Go check it out. The link for it down in the description below over on thegridironexpert.com. So let's dive into this Mayo Bowl, and we won't even hesitate. You know, it's actually funny how this works. North Carolina, this is a disappointing team, right? This is a team that midway through the year at 6-0, 10th in the country, had maybe playoff aspirations, ACC title aspirations, and like we've seen so many years under Matt Brown, they fell just short. They just completely fell apart as the year went on. West Virginia, this was a team that kind of got off to a somewhat slow start and then just blossomed towards the end of the year, 8-4, big-time year for them. And this was, again, a make-or-break year for Neal Brown. If he had struggled and maybe even hit 500, he might not even have a job. At 8-4, a phenomenal job by Neal Brown and his staff. You take a look at the offense. We'll start with North Carolina. They are wildly depleted in this game. No Drake May off to the NFL. They will be without their top wide receiver in Tez Walker and their starting center in Corey Gaynor, all of them declaring for the NFL draft. Their number 3 pass catcher and their tight end Bryson Nesbitt will not be playing due to an injury. And they could be without their number 4 wide receiver and Nate McCollum, who missed the finale against North Carolina State and could be questionable for this game in the Mayo Bowl. This is a team that's now going to have to rely on their backup quarterback and Connor Harrell, who has just 6 pass attempts all year long. That's a concern. They're down tons of weapons. They got an inexperienced quarterback under center, and they're facing a hungry West Virginia team. In theory, at the time of this video, we're not entirely sure. We filmed these relatively early. But North Carolina should have their star running back, Omarion Hampton, who rushed over 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns on the year. And that's what North Carolina's going to have to rely on if they want to win this game. Connor Harrell, so much unknown. We don't expect the passing game to be anything like it is with Drake May. But maybe the ground game can pick up that slack, as the Tar Heels have averaged over 197 rushing yards per game. That's what UNC has to do. They have to win the line of scrimmage battle. They have to run the ball effectively and maybe set up some easy throws for Harrell to get this offense going. They've averaged over 36 points per game on the year. Probably not going to come close to that when they face off against West Virginia. The Mountaineers, on the other hand, they do not have nearly as many opt-outs or players not playing in this bowl game. They're going to be down their starting center in Zach Frazier, one of the best centers to enter the NFL draft. And they could be down their top wide receiver in Devin Carter. Only played 4 snaps in the season finale against Baylor. Could play, maybe not, obviously up in the air. But this is a dangerous, dangerous West Virginia team, guys. Garrett Green, back in the preseason, we didn't know who was going to be the starting quarterback for West Virginia. We didn't know how long the battle was going to go on in Morgantown. Well, Garrett Green seized his opportunity and didn't give it back. Over 2,100 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, takes great care of the football, only 4 interceptions, and, man, this guy's dangerous on his feet. He's dangerous with the run. Over 700 rushing yards on the year and 13 touchdowns. 15 passing touchdowns to just 13 rushing touchdowns. Almost dead even there. And then the Mountaineers also have 2 running backs in C.J. Donaldson and Jaheim White that both have rushed for over 790 yards. So they have 3 players. West Virginia has 3 players that have at least 700 rushing yards. And this offensive line for the Mountaineers is unbelievable. Not only are they creating running lanes for their running backs, but they've only allowed 9 sacks all year long. Part of that is probably due to the fact Green has that dual threat capability. But they've got a very strong offensive line. They have a very dangerous run game that's averaging over 234 rushing yards per game. And that's really, really bad if you're North Carolina. Why? Because your defense has been terrible. it's been really, really bad. And it's been a trend that's been bad for many, many years. North Carolina, guys, is allowing an average of 162.8 rushing yards per game. They're giving up over 400 yards per game on average this year. And now the Tar Heels are going to be down their number one tackler and linebacker Cedric Gray, who was declared for the NFL draft, and they'll be down a handful of players in the secondary as well. The Tar Heels, yes, they have forced 27 sacks on the year. They have forced 21 turnovers on the year. And they're going to need all those things to continue if they want to have a chance in this Mayo Bowl. They're going to need to create pressure on Garrett Green. They're going to have to flush him out of the pocket, but they're going to have to make sure he doesn't run. Flushing out of the pocket and getting 10 yards doesn't do you any good. They're going to have to pressure him. They're going to have to find a way to sack him, which is not happening much this year. They're going to have to find a way to force him into some mistakes. That hasn't happened much this year. And they're going to have to find a way to stop the run, which hasn't happened much for North Carolina this year. They've allowed an average of 212 rushing yards per game in their final 6 games and have allowed at least 170 rushing yards in all 4 of their losses. So that's kind of your key for West Virginia, right? I think if the Mountaineers can get to that 170 mark, they're going to win this game. Right now, they are more healthy. They have more talent on offense right now than that of North Carolina. So if West Virginia can get to 170 rushing yards, the stats say that they will win the game because North Carolina has not won a game where they've allowed 170 rushing yards. Well, they've lost all 4 games that have allowed at least 170 rushing yards. West Virginia, on the other hand, their defense pretty dang solid. It's pretty solid, right? 240 passing yards per game isn't great. 144 rushing yards per game isn't great, but it could be worse. It definitely could be worse. And if you're West Virginia, the run game is what you want to focus on, right? If you're West Virginia, you're trying to mix up a little bit. You are not only focusing on bottling up the run and forcing Harrell to win the game through the air, but you're also trying to create a little bit of pressure on him. You're trying to send a few blitz packages, multiple different looks for a quarterback that doesn't have much experience at all. It's been the Drake May show for the last couple of years, and Harrell's not going to know what to do. So if you're West Virginia, you want to bottle up the run and say everything needs to be on Harrell's shoulders. If you want to win, you've got to beat us, not just with your inexperience, but also with a wide receiver and pass catching core that is depleted entering this game. But we're also going to send the house at you a few times to see if we can't force some big-time sacks, second, third, and long situations, or force you into a lot of bad mistakes. West Virginia can capitalize off of those if they can force the turnovers, if they can get that favorable field position. You look at West Virginia's defense, guys. This is a team that I actually think is better than their final record shows. They're 8-4 on the year. Very well should be 9-3, losing on that Hail Mary to Houston back in October. They win that game. They're 9-3. Listen to this. In West Virginia's 8 wins, in their 8 wins, they're allowing just 18 points per game. In their 4 losses, they're allowing 46.5 points per game. But those losses have come to Penn State, Houston on that Hail Mary, lost by 2 points. Oklahoma State, the Big 12 runner-up, lost by 14, 48-34, and then a blowout loss to Oklahoma, who is a top 15 program right now. So, look, I think West Virginia's defense is better than the stats show. They've been exploited against the better teams they have faced. They have dominated against teams that are about even as them or where West Virginia is superior. They're better than their stats show. They're better than their record shows. And you ask me right now, what is North Carolina? Is North Carolina better than West Virginia? Are they even with West Virginia? Or are they inferior to them? And I say right now, they're inferior to them, which is why we are picking West Virginia to win this Mayo Bowl. So Neil Brown, congratulations. You will get to take the Mayo bath. You look at this, guys. UNC's defense is no good. I expect the Mountaineers to run all over it in this game. Motivation-wise, West Virginia's got it. They are pumped to be here back in the postseason. Excited that they've clinched a winning record already. They want to win this game. They're excited for this game. North Carolina, they can't help but say this was a wasted opportunity. 6-0, number 10 in the country. Finished the year at 2-4. They looked horrible down the stretch of this year. Now they've got so many opt-outs. Where's their motivation? How good do the inexperienced players play? I just don't see it panning out for the Tar Heels. West Virginia, to me, has every advantage and every edge in this game. The Mountaineers win big in the Mayo Bowl. They take down North Carolina. Neil Brown, he's already saved his job, but a dominating bowl victory will further solidify the case, and the Mountaineers will win the bowl game and clinch their first 9-win season since 2016. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including that holiday special. Never too late to sign up. Go check it out. The link for that down in the description below. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.